Drew from the South Side. You've been hanging on, Drew. We appreciate that. Please go ahead with your question. Drew, you still with us?
Hello?
Hi, go right ahead. And I'm sorry, it's Derwin, not Drew. Derwin, my apologies. Please go right ahead with your question.
Okay, I have a two-part question.
Okay.
First question is, I work for a state institution / public, and I was trying to find out the difference between, I couldn't sue them because they was a state institution. Okay, the second part of this question is, that state institution has a thing called OJI, and what's the difference between OJI and workman comp?
Good question. So the first one is he's asking about suing that entity being a state institution, and then if you can talk about OJI and explain what that is and the difference.
I can talk about it, unfortunately, Derwin, only for about 10 seconds.
Okay.
It's not an area of law that many lawyers practice in.
Yeah.
In fact, there may only be 4 lawyers that I know of around the state. Wow. Because it's largely administrative based. And Derwin, you may have found this out through your experience. It's a lot of paperwork. You're dealing with a department in Montgomery. AJI, I think is what he said, and that may be the type of compensation at the end of your case. But these are not litigated. It is largely an administrative based process. Unfortunately, our firm doesn't handle those, so I really don't have a lot of experience to talk about those.
You can have any experience with it, or pretty much the same?
You know, early, probably like Bernard in my career, you know, I tried to handle a couple of those for some folks, and I just learned that the red tape and the paperwork, you know, it's a bureaucracy, and, you know, workers' comp, just traditional garden variety workers' comp claim has enough, you know, pitfalls in it, and the compensation, you know, in the state of Alabama is patently unfair. That's me saying that. Bernard would probably agree with me. But when you go down the road to the state level, it really does start to be very frustrating, not only for practitioners, but for the families that fall, I guess, subject to these types of laws. It's not fair. I wish we could do something about it, but there's only so much that lawyers can actually do in situations like that.
So is there anything that you can recommend for him?
Well, like Bernard said, there are a handful, and when we say a handful, he said 4, there may be 5. There may be 3 lawyers in the state. If you want to give us a call, my law firm or Bernard's law firm, a call tomorrow, we can try to track those down for you and hopefully get you some help. Same thing goes for the federal system. Bernard, handful of lawyers that handle federal work comp as well. I don't think that y'all handle those cases.
We tried. We did a few of those, but it's a completely different system, set of laws. And by what we mean by federal, this would be someone who is a federal employee, like a postal worker. Yeah,
and you know, time is of the essence. We say that all the time in any lawsuit. But when you start dealing with bureaucracies on the state and on the federal level, there are a lot of time gotchas. And there's time gotchas too, but in the traditional setup. But there are a lot of gotchas. So you need to, if something happens, you need to get to someone immediately if you can.
And Derwin, best of luck to you with that situation.